cylinder for this at this place. Okay. Then we will learn the next command, place shape. Okay. By default, first shape is visible for you here. Okay. But how to place different shapes? You have to click is, once you click it, all the shapes available are visible for you. Okay. So if it is not available, you have to just, once you click, if it is not visible at that time, you may need to click and wait for few seconds. Okay, to show it properly. Okay, once it is shown, from here also you can select required shape. This is a cylindrical shape, this is a torus cone shape, this is eccentric cone, sphere, this is the elliptical head, that is the dish, and we can use rectangular solid, any rectangular shapes you can, like boxes we can put, triangular solid, circular torus, rectangular torus, then eccentric rectangular prism. So like this, multiple shapes are available, even hexagonal solid is there. Okay, octagonal solid with 8 sides is available. Like this, multiple shapes available for you to build your equipment. Okay, now I will select cylinder. First option, cylinder only, because I need to place cylinder. Okay, you have, okay, when I have chosen now earlier I selected a body and tried to select. When I was explaining, now the selection is gone. Okay, once you activate place shape command, if there is no parent selected previously, it will ask you choose a equipment or a equipment component or a solid to add shape. Okay, so you can select either a equipment which is placed by this command, or a equipment component which is placed using this command, or a solid also. Solid means I will show you this solid option later. This is what solid is. So you can select either of these. So for me, as I am building the body part, I will select this equipment component so that the shapes which I am placing will not come directly under this, they will come under this component. Once I select the parent for the shape, now shape properties palette is open. Okay. In this, you can see from here it will start from the axis how it will be. So A means it's a cylinder height and B means it's a diameter of the cylinder. So we assume that our cylinder diameter is 1.5 meter. Okay. And we assume that our cylinder height is 5 meter. Okay. And okay, you have given your cylinder dimensions. You can give a proper name if you want. So this is your cylinder. If you want, you can give a name for this as a cylinder and then click OK. Once you click OK, you have selected body as the parent. You can see some predefined values it has already taken as per the parent you have selected. For body, the coordinates we have given are 2002. So it has already taken the predefined values for that parent. It is showing you graphics for the cylinder, how it will look. The preview is available. Okay, you have not yet completed the command. You selected the command for placement. You selected the parent for that. After that, it have given you options to input the properties. Once you input the properties, you are here. It is showing the preview how it will place now. if you place as it is. And if there is any issue with the properties you have entered before placement also, you can go back to its properties, shape properties once again. If you want to edit, you can edit the properties once again here. If you want to give any different name, you can give the name. Okay. After editing, you come back here. Now, this is how your cylinder will place. But that is not your requirement. Your requirement is your cylinder should be vertical, not horizontal. Okay. Then what you have to do here, can see z-axis is shown in blue. There are three axes, two are shown in yellow color, but z-axis is shown in blue color. That means right now z-axis is activated. So if I want to rotate this cylinder, I can rotate around z-axis now. How I will rotate? Using the right arrow mark. Okay, here it's not allowing. Okay, so as of now, I will accept this place as it is. It's not allowing you to rotate now. Accept this place as it is. Let it place the cylinder. Okay. After placement, when you select the cylinder, then you see now it will allow you to rotate. Okay. So as it is, as it is right now, z-axis you can see there are three axes available for this cylinder. Whenever you select any equipment component or shape, you can see there are different symbols for each of them. Shape symbol is like this. When you select any shape or any equipment, its axis is visible like this. Okay. Now, out of three axes, one is in blue color. That means right now that is active direction. Okay. And if you have to rotate now, if you rotate now, it will rotate around the axis, Z axis. My requirement is it should rotate from using this axis, it should rotate vertical 90 degrees. That means it should rotate in around Y axis, you can say. Okay. So to activate Y axis from Z, you can note down, use up arrow mark on the keyboard. On keyboard, right, left, up, down arrow marks are available near numbers. Use up arrow mark. I used it once. Now from Z axis, Y axis is shown in blue color. If you observe, that means Y axis is activated now using up arrow mark. If you want to activate X axis, use up arrow mark once again. Okay, with up arrow mark, you are changing your active axis for your rotation. I am changing continuously using up arrow mark. If you notice, it's going from Z to Y, Y to X. Okay. So like this, using up arrow mark, I will activate Y axis now. Okay. Once Y axis is activated, then using right arrow mark, right or left arrow mark you have to use to rotate the cylinder you placed. I will use right arrow mark and see whether it will rotate as per my requirement. Yes, it is rotated. If it rotates in some other way, then you use again right arrow mark again and again until you come to the place how you want. Okay, until the position of the cylinder is as per your requirement. Okay, whether all of you are able to follow how I have rotated the placed equipment shape?
Yes, using that arrow mark.
Correct. Up arrow for changing the axis. Now you can see again using up arrow mark, I am changing the axis. Now X is in shown in blue. That means X axis is activated. Now Z axis is activated. Okay. I activated Y axis for myself with up arrow mark to change the axis. After that, Using right arrow mark, you are able to rotate by 90 degrees exactly. Okay.
Sir,
It will.
one small note.
Yes, yes, please.
For changing the axis and rotating the shape, apart from this keyboard, do we have any option in the system? Any other option without using the
O-
keyboard?
Other option is rotate from here.
Okay.
Rotate object which you have learned yesterday.
Okay.
Using this, you can rotate anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Focus.
So this for equipment modeling, this is the facility available where you quickly rotate by 90 degrees.
Okay.
Okay, you can activate the required axis and you can rotate by 90 degrees. So you should you should apply your 3D concept and then see around which axis you have to rotate the cylinder so that it comes in vertical. So as it was towards east axis earlier, say it was the position as it was like this earlier. To rotate from east to up elevation, I have to activate this north-south axis so that it rotates from this position to this position. Correct? From east to.
Correct.
So based on your 3D concepts, you have to activate a axis around which you have to rotate by using up arrow mark. Once the required axis is active, use right arrow mark to rotate it by 90 degrees. So if it is not the place, use up arrow mark multiple times to bring it to the required position. Okay,
Okay, sir.
is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts for any other users? Okay, then let us proceed. So we have placed the equipment shape now. We started with a designed equipment definition, then we started with equipment component definitions for body. After that, we added a shape. Now for this equipment, I need one more shape at the top, which is a dish end. Normally dish end will be there at the top of equipment. So I'll go back here. Right now, last used shape will be available here, visible for you. Again, click here, wait for few time to give you all the options. And now this is your dish and shape available. Okay, I will select this dish and shape. Now, if you see here, dish end is shown here for place shape. Okay, so it is asking for parent. Again, I will select body as parent. Okay, because within this body, I want to place this cylinder and dish end both. I selected body. Now it is asking A as how much should be your diameter of the dish end. So for the cylinder, I have already placed 1.5 meter dia I have taken. So I'll input the same dia. Now B, height of the dish end. Normally it is 1/4 of the dia we are using. Okay, dish end height. So 1/4 of, you can say, I'll just 1.5 meter divided by 4, say 375 I have to use. I'll input 375 as the height for it. Okay. Name if you want, you can give dish. Now click OK. Right now it has not taken any default value. You can go in the graphics and select the center of this cylinder now. Okay. So make sure that you are selecting the center properly. So I have to come here. You can see some intersection. It is showing something like an intersection is visible for you. You click on here. Okay. You cannot rotate directly there. Once you place, already the dish end is selected, and this also you have to rotate around y axis. Y is already active. with that use of right arrow mark. Now your dish end is rotated by 90 degrees with right arrow mark. You just make sure in front view and top view whether it's coming at proper location, whether it is coming accurately on the cylinder. Always after placement, you check in different views so that if there are any offsets, maybe during your cursor selection, sometimes it won't select properly at the required location. At that time, you change views and make sure that it is placed at the right location. Okay. So you have built your equipment till here. Now your body is ready now. Whatever within this equipment you wanted to build a body, your body is ready now. Okay. Now how to add skirt? To add the skirt, okay, we have seen till here. Now we will use the last option for the skirt. You assume that there is a nozzle coming out of the skirt for which you need a cutout for the skirt. Okay. So in that case, you have to place the skirt with a hole in it so that the nozzle will project outside from it. Okay. So, okay, for this, maybe you can add one more dish end at the bottom. Okay, for this equipment. And okay, to add the dish end once more, you can use this. And if you are frequently using many shapes, you can keep this outside like this. So it will be active. You can use whatever shape you want multiple times from here. Instead of choosing one by one, I'll choose this dish end again and choose body itself. I have to add in the body. Then same dimensions, it will remember the last dimensions you have placed. And this is your dish 2. Click OK. Then this time I will place at say bottom isometric view I will take, and then I want to place it as center of here. Now with this again, y-axis is already active. I will rotate by, if I rotate by 90 now, okay, similar to the top one, it will rotate up. If I have to rotate down, I will use left arrow mark. With left arrow mark, it rotated down, and then it is as required for us. Okay. So just check in the front view whether it came properly for your cylinder. So this is your bottom cylinder dish and you have placed it to the cylinder. Oh, looks like there is some offset. Correct. There is no offset in this dish you have placed. But for that dish too, there is some offset. And this one, you can, using move, you can locate it properly. I know that bottom of this cylinder center is at 20 meter east, north is 0, and 2 meter elevation. Okay. Now, as I know the coordinates, I moved it to that coordinate. Okay. So it is matching exactly now. So that's why I keep telling you, you have to check in different views whether it is matching as per your requirement or not. Okay. So if you fit whether it is matching with your requirement or not exactly. So check in different views so that it's coming exactly at the location you want. Till now clear? Any doubts? Till now how to build this equipment shape?
Yeah, I here sir one more this one this no. Well, again we are creating one more this and placing like this. We can use mirror. Is there any option?
Mirror option is there. You can use it. Edit mirror option is there. Mirror copy. If you want, you can use. Instead of that, right now, quickly you can add using this option also. If mirror is helpful for you, you can try with that.
Okay.
Okay.
What I need? Why I need to use that play and command for that.
For mirror, you have to select the axis exactly at the center of this cylinder.
Okay.
So, so that it will be mirror against the center of this cylinder. Instead of that, for me, I know the position. I quickly placed the cylinder over here, sorry, dish end over here, and rotated it.
Okay. And
So,
one more question is see some below this is some of the apps set. So you know the distance. So you enter that value, this came correctly, right? But we
correct.
don't know that exact any this one any this one axis and distance. So how we can use that pinpoint the smart sketch what you said that pinpoint we can use it and fix it. It will come properly.
Pinpoint, that is what. Sometimes selecting pinpoints may be a problem. Say this dish and I will move outside again.
Example while extracting some ISOs. So some lines will be slightly 0.5 5 mm like this mismatching like mesh and all. So that mesh, especially for that this one for uh, support on the pipe, some mesh will be there. No, that will be we can match it or something like that for 5 mm like that. So that
You have
time
to
what
use
will
pinpoint only. You have to use pinpoint only for that purpose.
mm,
Okay. This also we will try with pinpoint again, but sometimes it will not take pinpoint properly. Okay.
okay. Hmm.
So it's showing as point 3D. This time we will see. Okay. It's showing as the end point. Okay. Snap point.
Mm,
What are the snap points available? It is showing. You have to select snap point correctly to bring it at the required location. Earlier, maybe snap point we have selected was wrong. That's why it did not come properly. So you have to, based on your experience, you have to see and make sure that you are selecting the proper snap point. Okay. Then only you will make sure you are going to correct coordinates. Okay. Snap
okay,
point
fine.
selection is critical here.
Mm-hmm.
And snap points, you can see what is what snap point based on the symbol. What is what symbol? See, it is shown as a key point. So at the center there is a key point available. It was showing as a key point. I selected when the key point is visible. If you are placing on a nozzle, it may show you symbol of nozzle like this. Or if
Mm-hmm.
you are placing at the center point, snapping for a center point, it will show this one as the symbol.
Okay.
Based on the symbol, reference axis aligned. So if it is parallel aligned with some axis, it will show this symbol. Based
Mm-hmm.
on these symbols, you have to make sure you are selecting proper point for you. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So we will go back to isometric. We already seen that this cylinder came at proper location now, even using snap point. Okay. Any other doubts till now? No doubts? Okay, then we will proceed with next commands. Okay. That is, I will build a skirt now for this equipment. Okay. I have already created a equipment component for this, and as I told you, my requirement is I should have a through hole in the skirt so that a nozzle from the nozzle, you just assume that in the front view a nozzle will come at the bottom like this, and it should go, it is projecting out of the skirt. For that I need a through hole for the skirt. Okay. In that case, to get through holes, which is negative, we have to use some negative shapes to make the holes in the shapes. Okay. For that purpose, whenever you want to add some negative and positive shapes, you have to build it using something called as designed solid. Okay. We will learn this designed solid now. In this skirt, you have to place a designed solid. This also do not have any graphics associated. It's a definition similar to this. It is also one definition. Click on place designed solid by selecting skirt. It have not asked you for any location, anything. It simply placed a designed solid like this, where there is no graphics, no position required for this. Position is required only for shapes and equipment components and equipment. Design solid as it is. If you want to name, you can give a name, design solid, or else by default it will take some random default naming. Okay. You can name relevantly if you wish as per your requirement so that you can identify properly next time. Now you have placed the design solid. How you will place a skirt? For that, you need a conical shape for the skirt. And if you have to make a through hole for that, it should be a positive shape. Any positive and negative shapes, we have to build it using positive and negative shapes. There should be a positive shape in which one more shape we will add, which will be negative to cut the hole. Okay. So both of them should be within a design solid so that they will apply some positive and negative shapes. So I will select this design solid. Now again, within the design solid, we are going to use shapes only. If you know, remember, these are also shapes. Similar shapes we are going to use for within design solid now. Okay. For the skirt, there should be a conical shape like this. So now I will select the second shape available. It's circular cone. Okay. I need this circular cone. Select it. Parent I have selected design solid and then started the command circular shape. For this, I will put name as cone. Okay. Then bottom, bigger one is the bottom dia, smaller one is the top dia of the cone. So you should visualize properly what. So C is the top dia. You know that this cylinder diameter is 1.5 meter. So I have to match with that 1.5 meter. Okay. Then top dia B. I will take B as 2 meter top dia. Oh, sorry, this is the bottom dia. Bottom at the bottom, let diameter be 2 meter, which I have set as 2 meter for B. C is the top dia. I set it as 1.5 meter to match with this cylinder. And A is height. A is height. You know that I have already left 2 meter space for to create this skirt. It should be 2 meter. Okay. Key in the values and then enter to accept the values. Okay. I keyed in 2 meter on keyboard and then accept by using enter. Once you have set the dimension for the cylinder, sorry, cone, click OK. And once you click OK, you can see Okay. I want to place it as 20 meter. Right now, it has not taken any, as I have selected as a design solid, it's not taken any value for design solid location. So I have to give the location manually. I know that my easting is 20 meter, say F6, 20 meter, F7 northing, 0, elevation also 0 now. Okay, exactly at the bottom of this cylinder we have placed. So I have fixed the location for this and then complete this shape. Already the cylinder is selected and y-axis is active. Similar to earlier, you have to use right arrow mark to rotate the cone you have placed. Okay, all of you clear? I have placed the cone now. In the front view, I can see whether it's matching. Yes, it's matching. You can just zoom in, zoom out and see if it's matching or not. And in top view also, you just have a look once. Okay, so center is matching with this. It's okay. You have placed your cone properly. Okay. Now to place a through hole for this. Okay. I need to place a through hole towards south side. Say a nozzle is coming at the bottom, coming towards south side like this. So for that, I need to place a through hole for this. Then how I can make a through hole here? Maybe through hole I need to place through and through in both direction if you want. For that, if you need a hole, that's nothing but circular shape. And to make I have to place a cylinder for circular shape and make it negative so that it will cut through this positive cone. Okay. For that, within this design solid only, I will place a cylinder. Similar to this cylinder, I have to place a cylinder over here. Now next shape cylinder, by selecting the design solid, make sure you are placing a positive shape and a negative shape within the same design solid. Okay. Once I activate this command, you just assume that the hole should be okay. Its height is 2 meter. The hole should be of maybe 800 mm dia. For that, B you put as 800 mm and A length. So I want to put by this length. So in that case, in top view, if I see, I will place with 2 meter. 2 meter is the diameter of this cylinder. So to go through and through from this cylinder, I will place the length of 2 meter. So for this cylinder, I will put the name as hole. Okay, it's a through hole. I will put the name as hole. Okay. Now clear. You have to click OK. Once you give the name and dimensions, click OK. So at this point, you are asked for again the location. So in top view, if I see, the easting for this cylinder should be same as center of this 20 meters. Okay, 20 meter. It has fixed the easting now. The northing for this, my cylinder should start from this place to this place. So northing is, this is 0 northing. It's 2 meter dia. That means half of this is minus 1 meter. The northing should be minus 1 meter for me. Okay. And then in front view, you should fix the elevation. So this is your zero elevation. This height is 2 meter. If you have to take exactly through hole at the center, put the elevation 1 meter. Positive 1. With this, you have fixed your location for the cylinder. Okay. Now all three axes are locked. You have provided easting, northing, elevation. Okay. Now you can click anywhere. Already it is locked, so it is not moving. The preview is here. If it is acceptable for you, click anywhere outside. You brought a cylinder here. Okay. You brought a cylinder here, and that one you have to rotate now. So I'll put an isometric view. If I have to rotate this towards north, then in this axis, if I have to rotate in the horizontal axis, then up down axis should be active, which is Z axis. Using up arrow mark, similar to earlier, use up arrow mark to activate Z axis. After that, now I will use right arrow mark to rotate it. So Z axis is visible. Around that, it is rotating by 90, 90, 90 degrees. Okay. So this is how I have placed another shape. You can assume that I will rotate and see around this. So there is a cylinder I have placed through and through this cut. Okay. So any doubts till now to add two shapes? No doubts. So in that case, okay, let us proceed. After we have added the shape, till now it's a positive shape. If you select it, you can see it's through and through. In your graphics, it is visible through and through. There is a positive shape which is projecting outside. Now, how you will make it negative? By default, when you place any shapes, they will be positive. To make them negative, for getting the cut hole, for getting the hole through hole, you have to, once you select the shape, you can see here, it's under design solid. When it is under a design solid, this is your design solid you have placed using this. So the shape should be within the design solid. Then after this equipment name, there is a drop down available over here. Right now it is showing this is add shape. That means it will be a positive shape. You have to subtract it. Set it to subtract shape. Okay, it's a negative shape. Now can you observe? A hole is created in this positive shape. If I click anywhere outside, I will put in front view. You can see there is a through hole created in this skirt. Okay. So you can observe there is a through hole. I am rotating it around its axis. There is a through hole available for the skirt. Any doubts till now? How the positive and negative shapes are created? You can select this shape. This is also a shape, but for this there is no positive or negative property assigned. By default, whenever you place any shape directly inside the equipment, it will be a positive shape only. Okay, but if you have to make a through hole by using negative shape, the positive as well as the negative shape. This is for negative shape we have used a cylinder. For positive shape, this is our skirt cone. Both of them, to make them positive, to give the characteristic of positive and negative properties, they should be within a designed solid. Then only it is also a cylinder. It is also a cylinder. If you select this cylinder, there is no positive or negative property for this. But the same cylinder, this is also same cylinder. When it is placed within the design solid, it will give us additional property to make it either positive or negative. Okay, this is how we will use negative shapes by creating designed solids. Okay, one more one more type of solid is available within design solid. One more type of property available within design solid, that is in the drop down. This is your positive, use it for this. This is your negative, use it for cylinder. There is one more property, suppress the shape. If you use it at the beginning, if you remember, when I put positive property for this cylinder was projecting outside the cone. Okay, and with a negative shape, the cylinder cut within this cone. When I suppress the shape, at that time, even though there is a cylinder, it, it is neither having any positive property or a negative property. That means temporarily, right now, there is a cylinder which is neither positive nor negative. That means it's neither projecting outside of this cone nor it is cutting within this cone. Okay, this will be useful. Say if you don't, you have cut a hole. After that, maybe for your review purpose for some other users, if they don't want to see the hole, you can just suppress it for time being. Okay, until the decision is taken whether you need a hole or not. Instead of deleting and recreating the hole again, as of now, you can suppress the shape and give them as it is. Once they confirm you that I need a hole or I don't need a hole, later, if they don't need a hole, you can delete it, or if they need a hole, you can change it back to negative shape or subtract shape. Okay, so this is how the third property, suppress shape, will work. Although the cylinder is there, it do not have a positive or negative impact on the shapes. It will ignore the shape. Okay, so like this we can place the negative shape in any equipment. So we have built a equipment like this. I will go back to our isometric view, how it is looking now. There is a pump placed using this catalog equipment placement, and we have built this designed equipment. We have built vessel 001 V001, in which body we have built using one cylinder and two dish ends, and skirt we have built using a positive cone and negative cylinder. Okay, if you wish, you can suppress this negative cylinder shape so that there is no impact for time being. So any doubts till now, whatever we have gone through from morning?
And this after this adding this equipment, sir, that All the this one consistency point we need to check, or what we need to do?
I don't get you.
Consistency check, we need to do that for this modeling, or we can draw and assembly, we can delete that.
Consistency check
Yeah.
for equipment is like to-do list checking only.
Yeah, okay.
View to-do list. This is your consistency check.
Okay.
This applies for most of the things. Piping, mainly applicable for piping, uh, but it is applicable for even equipments. It is applicable for this structures as well. Okay. So for almost all things, cable ways, structures, anything you model in Sp3d, this
Okay.
to-do list is the consistency checking available for all objects types. Okay.
Fine.
So if there is any error over here, you can check the consistency. And positioning and all, you have to check in equipment. Say you will select by equipment, and then its position and all you can check in properties directly. Position and orientation, it will give you the position of equipment. When you select by equipment, it will give you the position and orientation of that equipment. Okay.
Okay.
So as I told you, when you placed this V001 equipment definition, you have selected this position. Okay. And from there you go on building the equipment.
Yes.
And for every equipment, there will be a reference position available. Make sure that reference position is exactly at the required place. Normally, this reference position is not visible when you are in different task. Say I am in piping task. In piping task also, I will be able to select the equipment. Okay. If you select equipment, fit it. Can you notice
Here is coming
reference
some.
position? Reference position is not visible here.
Yes, yeah.
Correct?
It's not
For
visible here.
not visible here. Did you notice it's not visible here?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I select any designed equipment, sorry, catalog equipment also, for that also, if you remember, we have kept a reference position. We moved
That
by
not set.
default, it
Yeah.
was here. Later we
Yeah.
moved it to this place,
Yes.
but that
From
is
the.
not visible. That is not
Yes.
visible
Yes.
here. Even though we selected the equipment, they are not visible. Those will be visible only in equipment and furnishing task. Okay. These are the equipments and reference position for equipments. When you select by equipment, will be visible only when you are in equipment and furnishing task and select the equipment, then only the reference position XYZ coordinate is visible for you. Okay.
Oh.
If we select SL and fit now, here also now the reference position is visible. Okay.
Fine, sir.
Always make sure the reference position for a designed equipment, especially designed equipment, you have to make sure it is properly placed within the graphics you are building. Sometimes what happens, say you have put your definition here, maybe later you go on placing shapes in some other location.
Okay.
Okay. As per your requirement, okay. You put its definition at wrong place and you build your equipment at required place. After that, when you select the equipment, maybe your definition is here, but all other shapes are over here. That is the wrong practice. Okay. You have to make sure the reference position is within the shapes you are building. If there is any error, to move the reference position, I have already shown you how to move the reference position. Once you build the equipment, after that you can move its reference position. Right click, select reference coordinate system, and then assume that it is somewhere outside reference position. Right click and select the reference coordinate system. It's selected.
And enter the value.
Once it is selected, you have to use move command. Okay.
Yes.
Using move command, you can just move it wherever you want. Okay. You can assume that it was outside somewhere here. By mistake, you defined your equipment definition here and then built your shapes here. To bring it within it, if you know the shapes, this coordinate, you can input after you select move command. You can input the values over here. Okay.
Fine.
Coordinates and then move it within the graphics you have built. I will right click to come out of the command. For my equipment, reference position is pakka now. There is no problem with the reference position. But if there is any problem, please move it as per your requirement. Okay. Whenever you take a report for the equipment, its location will be reported as per the reference position you have. Okay. So if it is not within this graphics, if it is somewhere outside, it will report the wrong coordinates which are here. Okay. Make sure it is within your equipment you have built. Any more doubts? Till now, whatever we have did. Okay. If there are no doubts, then let us proceed further. Now we have used these commands here. Place designed equipment, place catalog equipment. So normal place equipment is catalog equipment. After that, we have used this one like a equipment component. Why it is important? Equipment component is to organize the equipments properly. Okay. Within this, say if this body, maybe I'll set it to equipment component. Then I will be able to select equipment body separately, equipment skirt separately. So even though your equipment definition is here, if you want to rotate, move, or do any modification for the components together, at that time, if you organize them, say right now, a cylinder I placed two distance properly with the cylinder. And by mistake, if they are at wrong coordinate, moving them together, it will be easy for me if I organize them in a equipment component. Body is my equipment component in which I organized these three shapes. So for me to rotate, move or do any modification, always it is better for me. Together I can rotate, move or do anything as a equipment component. Okay, quickly all three of them will be together only whenever I move or rotate. That is how organizing as a equipment component is beneficial for you. Even this skirt, so I have organized the positive and negative shapes properly within a equipment component. Now if I need to rotate or move along with it, this negative shape will be moved along with this positive shape if I use this equipment component together. Okay. So normally you try to build your own equipment components so that they are managed separately, properly. Okay. Then we have used the shapes to go on building the required components, sorry, required shapes. We built our equipment like this now.
If suppose in the bar the sequence is missed somewhere, so we can include later. It is possible.
What is the sequence? I don't
The
get you.
example they are did for this modeling these cylinders like that in that body. What your sequence is in the body, you can put cylinder this like this. So
Skip.
you create the structure wise. If something is missed out, say for this two in that inside of skirt or somewhere is move while
You
modeling
can add
change.
it later also. You can add it later also. If dish 2 is not there.
Hmm.
Okay. Here, once you switch to equipment command, sorry, equipment and furnishing task.
Hmm.
Okay. Toolbar will be set for that. And at the top, this is called as locate drop down actually.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Using this locate drop down, you will be able to select the required things quickly. When it is all, say when it is all, if you go here,
Hmm.
you got multiple options for your selection. You can go and select directly the cylinder shape is selected. But if your requirement is to select the whole equipment or only the equipment component within which the cylinder is available,
Okay.
at that time, select this and then wait till this small question mark appears. All of
Okay.
you able to observe a question mark, small question mark is visible.
Yes.
Once it appears, when you left click for selection, now it is giving you three options available for selection. Either you can select a cylinder or you can select a body, which is the equipment component, or you can select the whole equipment. So what this question mark do it is, it will give you multiple option. You have to wait until that question mark appears, then you will be allowed to select the multiple things. And once you select the cylinder, do not click. Without clicking, you can just observe what it is highlighting. Now body, what it is highlighting. Now V001, total equipment, what it is highlighting. Okay, with the shape, you will come to know whether it is equipment, whether it is a component, or whether it's a shape.
Okay.
As per your requirement, you can select
It
like
will go
this.
there.
Okay. And if you are sure that you are going to select only equipment component, then locate drop down will help you. With all, you are able to select anything within your graphics or anything within your workspace explorer. But if your requirement is to select only equipment components or equipment, you can set it to equipment. Now, if you come here, you are not, there is only one equipment in this graphics. You can select only the equipment. Okay. In the hierarchy also, if you try to select anything else, it will not allow you. It will allow you to select only equipment. That means with this locate drop down, you are restricting yourself to select only equipments.
So we can put from that case all.
Yes. No, as per your requirement, this is available for your to help you for quick
Um,
selection.
mm.
Okay. If you want to move or modify only equipment component, you can set it to equipment components, select it. It will select directly the equipment component instead of giving you multiple options like earlier. When you set all, right now it is selecting only shape. And then once it question mark appears, it will give you other options. But if you want to quickly select only equipment component, set it to equipment component, select it. Now you have quickly selected the equipment component, you need to modify or move. Okay. Like this, there is a locate drop down available, and this is as per the task you are working with. Similar to the toolbars, they are set as per the task. Locate drop down also will be available as per the task. Okay.
Fine.
In this, you can go by equipment or go by equipment component or shapes. If you want to select only shapes for modification, you can select shape. You will quickly select this shape or this top shape or the bottom shape. If you come, try to select bottom. And once question mark appeared, now you can see cylinder, dish 2, you can select or a cone shape, which is in the bottom skirt. Okay. This is about locate drop down, how you can use it as per your requirement. Now my requirement is keeping locate drop down to shape. I will come back to your question now. Okay. where you asked, what if we missed some sequence? What if I have not placed this dish 2? Say there is no dish 2 available. Then also you can select the body. Right now with shape active, you are not able to select any equipment or equipment component. You can select only shapes. So if you are unable to select something desired, you just make sure you have set to proper locate drop down. Okay. I will put it to all and then select this body. Okay. After that, I will go on adding the shape now to this body. So you missed the dish too. Now you will select the body again and then come back to shapes. Once you activate it, select this dish shape. Again, for the dish, it remembers the values you have given earlier. I need with the same values. Click OK. After that, you can place it wherever you want. You can see at the top, it's showing easting 20, northing 0, elevation 2 meters. That is where I want. If you are sure, you left click to accept the location. And after that, how you will come to know in what direction it is. If you want, you can just change the view to wireframe mode or outline mode in Sp3d. Put it in the front view and see how it is appearing. This is our dish. To rotate it 90 degrees, you just use up arrow to activate Y axis. In the isometric view, I will come to know to activate the Y axis, which is in the north-south axis. Then up arrow, using up arrow, I have activated Y axis now. I will come back to front view to rotate. So using now, once Y axis is active, I will use left or right arrow you can use. If I use right arrow, I know that it will rotate in this direction. It will go to top. From here, it will go to top direction. I want it to come to bottom direction. So in that case, I will use left arrow. Okay. Using left arrow, I come back to this shape. So in the wireframe mode, I can see that it is coming correctly here. If you zoom, you can just see. I will verify in the top view also whether it's coming correctly. Okay, it's exactly matching with my cylinder. Now I will just accept this location as it is. Okay. And you can give the name again to this dish, say dish 2. Okay. So if you miss any sequence like this, you can come back and add the shape. You can name them as you want. I will go back to my rendered view. From outline to render view, we can go from format view. From format view, I just render mode, I change it to again shaded mode. Okay.
Okay, fine. And this one after body earlier it was this one one and cylinder and this two. Now this two in top there is not a problem, right? We can drag this down or otherwise it is. Hello.
Sorry. If you refresh workspace,
Then it will come out. Okay, fine.
yes, if you refresh workspace, then it will come properly.
Mhm.
It will be sorted properly as per the name. Okay. You no need to do manually anything. As per the naming, it will be sorted by names. properly. Okay, you need not to do anything manually.
Okay, just will give the reference.
Correct. Refresh command you have, if you do, then everything you have modeled will be properly sorted as per the names. Okay.
Fine.
Any other doubts till now? Okay. Let us continue further then. So now we have seen till now. We have gone through some shapes also. Different shapes we have gone through. Okay. Whenever you place any designed equipment, you should add a datum point for it. Always you have to add a datum point for it, and datum point will be the location. You have to keep it at a proper location where it should report. Okay. If a equipment report is taken, as I told, it will take by reference position. The reporting will be by reference position, and at the reference position you should add a datum point also for proper reporting, as well as datum point is required for adding the nozzles. Okay, whenever you add any nozzles to the equipment, it should be by some datum point, using some datum point, and datum points are added from shapes only. So active shape, last active shape you have used is a dish end. Okay, so you have to go to shapes. In this, you can see this triangular shape available. It is called as datum shape. Okay, for any equipment you are building manually, you have to add datum shapes at the reference position. At least there should be a one datum point to add the nozzles. Okay, for this equipment we are going to add multiple nozzles, and to add nozzles you need datum point. At least one datum point should be available. Whenever you take a nozzle report, the nozzle report for the nozzle report, it will take the datum point position. From there only it will give you the datum point nozzle positions. Okay, now I will add datum point. I will select the equipment first. That need not to be in any equipment component. Datum point can be directly under the equipment. Select the equipment parent as the parent and click on datum point shape. Okay, so once you click on datum point shape, it it will be visible like this. It will be like a triangular solid or triangular cone. It is like a cone like this. So by default, some value for this length will be available. You can accept as it is, and do not give any name. For datum point, it will automatically take some name by itself, like DP1, DP2, like that it will go on taking. You accept as it is without name. Hmm. You have selected the parent, and then you have selected the datum shape. After that, without changing any value, you accept it for placement. Okay, so it's not taking any position by default. As I told, for this equipment, our reference position is at the bottom center, so which is at 20 meter and 0 meter. 20 meter east and 0 in north and elevation. So to select that position, it's not selecting by cursor now. I will try in different view also whether it will select. Maybe bottom isometric view I will select and see whether I will be able to select the. Okay, by mistake I have accepted some position. It is placed already, but my requirement was to place some other place. Now I have to move this. Okay. Already DP1. As I told, it will take its name by default. You can accept as it is. It has taken the name as DP1. I will move it to, say, I will try to move it to the center of this shape. As I told you, sometimes you will not be able to select the snap points quickly in Sp3d. So come near to the center and see. It is showing as plane 3D. That means it's not the center actually. So with this, you will come to know what it is. It is showing something like plane 3D, which is not your required point. It's showing some different symbols, but the symbol is like point on a curve. Some other point on curve is shown. You need to have maybe some center point on this, or maybe some key point on this. You should have either this symbol or this symbol to get the center point here. Okay, now the key point is visible. You can see this is your key point shape, and to confirm it, at the top pinpoint bar you can see easting is 20 meter, northing is 0, and elevation is 0. That is what your required point is, except this point. And you have moved your DP point to that location. Okay, I'll keep it in normal isometric view now. And DP point also, as it's a vertical vessel, this cone should be in the same direction. Okay, so this also, using up arrow mark you can activate Y axis now, and using right arrow mark I have rotated it in vertical direction. Okay, so we have added a datum point at the reference position location. So if you select anywhere outside, datum point graphics will not be visible, as it is exactly at the reference position within this equipment shapes. Okay, so when you select DP, then only you will come to know there is a datum point graphics available here. Sometimes if the datum point you require, you can add multiple datum point also, maybe for nozzle placement on this cylinder. If it is beneficial for you to give the reference points, means to give the coordinates from this point, then you can add a datum point over here also. And for the nozzles at the top of it, you can add a datum point over here also if you wish. Okay, you can add multiple datum points, but normally DP1 first datum point, it will give the nozzle positions from the first datum point, you can say. Okay, so this is how you will add a datum shape or a datum point to the equipment. Okay, clear till now? Any doubts till now? Okay, then we will proceed further. What is the next option available? Now we will go to, we have added a datum point required for nozzle placement. We can add a nozzle now. We will see the next option, nozzle, place nozzle command. Okay. Normally to add any nozzle, you have to start with by selecting the datum point as the parent. Select this datum point as the parent, or as I told, the relation will be with the datum points only. So do not select equipment directly for as a parent for nozzle. Select the datum point as the parent for the nozzle, and then start placement of the nozzle. Okay, this is your place nozzle symbol. Click on place nozzle. by selecting the datum point. Okay. Once you click on nozzle, you are in nozzle properties section. A palette will open for nozzle properties. Here, first field, first property is to input the name of the nozzle. Assume that, okay, where you are adding the nozzle, you just assume that you are adding a nozzle on this cylinder, okay, somewhere on this cylinder in the radial position for this, okay. At that time, you consider the port type should be, there is something, once you activate the place nozzle command, by default port type will be piping straight nozzle, which is the first one, first type. Okay, let it be now. The property you need to, you assume that I want to place a nozzle around this cylinder, say in the east direction. I am in front view. In the east direction, I want to place a nozzle. Okay, and the nozzle name should be N1. You have to key in N1 as the nozzle name. Normally, nozzle names and all, you will input key in the nozzle names. Okay. By default, it will assume some nozzle naming. Already, you might have seen. It will take something like a pipe straight nozzle, 1, 2, 3, like that. By default, if you don't name anything, the naming will be as it is, as per some default naming rule. It will take some names. If this nozzle name is N1, you key in as N1. Next, you are going to select the nozzle size. NPD nozzle size, and the unit type for the nozzle size is inches. So you assume that you have input 6 inch as the nozzle size. Okay. And then, okay, NPD unit type is inch only. If you want to input in mm, you can change it to mm, and then you can input here for 6 inch, maybe 150 mm is the nominal size. You can input 150. Okay. Right now I will go ahead with inches for sizes, whatever I have got in default. And then remaining things are the end preparation, like rating for the nozzle is class 150, its type is bolted, and its end preparation is RFFE, raised face flanged end. Okay. Remaining things like end practice is United States of America. Whenever you start a nozzle, by default it will be a RFFE end from this United States of America standard. Rating practice is United States of America standard. RFFE class 150 selected. If you want to change the rating, you can to 300. You can select here 300 if you wish. As of now, I will go ahead with 150 only. 6 inch. I have input the nozzle name. I have input the size. I have NPD type. Whatever it has taken default, I will consider inches only. And then by default, it will be in with RFFE end whenever you start a nozzle, because mostly we will be using RFFE end nozzles. So it will consider RFFE. If you want to change rating, I will accept this one. Okay, I have input the nozzle details here under occurrence. Okay, name, I have changed the size. I need RFFE and only. I will keep as it is. Now nozzle definition is okay for me. Next, under nozzle properties, there is location available. Under occurrence, you set your nozzle properties, nozzle name, size, and all. Now I will go to location tab. There is something location tab available for this nozzle definition. You can see here placement type. By default, it will show you as a tangential. Okay, tangential, with tangential, it will give you some offset value. But I will right now I will place a radial nozzle. For radial nozzle, there will not be any additional offset value. How it will consider the position now? You have selected DP1 over here. From this, it will ask you for N1 value. That is, DP1 is in vertical direction, and then in the same direction, it will ask you N1 value. How much is the distance for this nozzle? N1 value is distance of nozzle from the DP1 you have selected. From here, you assume that this is 2 meters, and from here, another 3 meter up, I want this nozzle. Then 2 plus 3, 5 meter, total 5 meter should be my N1 value. Okay. And then N2. N2 value is in the plan view from the center of the cylinder, how much the distance is up to the face of this nozzle you are placing. Okay. So in the plan view, if I go, I cannot switch to plan view now, and this command is active. But I know that this cylinder diameter is 1500 mm or 1.5 meter. In that case, my radius from the center, my radius is 750 mm. And assume that the nozzle should be 200 mm projected outside this cylinder face. So it is 750 plus 200. I need 950 mm is the distance, N2 distance. Okay. Are you clear how I arrived at 950 mm distance? And how I arrived at 5 meter distance? Everybody, all of you are able to follow? Okay, you can stop me if you are unable to follow this concept. For nozzle placement, it is very important concept. If you are unable to follow, please stop me. I can explain you once again. Okay. You have to start by selecting the DP1 nozzle, DP1 datum point. You have to start placement of the nozzle using this. At first, you have given the values, nozzle name, nozzle size you have given, and then default RFFE will be there. I need a RFFE nozzle only. Once I give these values, then I will go to location. Under location, placement type, I will change it to radial, where now it will ask you in the elevation view, it is showing elevation is like this only, you are looking. This is your DP location. Okay. Datum point location. From datum point location, how much distance should be in the vertical direction? In this direction, I need 2 meter plus 3 meter. I considered as 5 meter total. From here, I have given 5 meter. And then N2 value from the center of flange in a top view. From the center of cylinder actually. Okay, from the center of equipment up to edge of this cylinder, it is 750 mm radius as the dia is 1.5 meter. 750 mm plus 200 mm, I will assume 200 mm projection outside. 750 plus 200, that is 950. Okay. I have defined up to this. Next is orientation. Orientation always take from north direction. Okay. In the plan view, this is your north. If I want the nozzle in the east direction, in the plan view, my orientation will be, this is your 0, up to east, it is 90 degree exactly. I have to input orientation 90 degree. Okay, enter. Whenever you key in any values, after that you have to enter. Okay. Given N1 value 5 meter, N2 value 950, that is up to face of flange from center of cylinder 950. Then orientation from north, it is 0. From north, I want exactly at east, it's 90 degrees. This is your orientation positive value. It will come like 90, 180 towards south, 270 toward west, and again 360 degrees means it will come up to 0 again. The orientation comes like this. If you need at 45 degrees, you can put input 45 here. Right now I need at each direction. I will input 90. Both are set now. My nozzle property and my nozzle location both are set. Once it is set, click OK. You can see, you can fit it to it. Already in the nozzle N1 is selected. The distance, this will be from here, it will be 5 meter distance. N1 value we have given for position and face of flange. Now I will show you in top view the face of flange for this nozzle from the center of the cylinder or from the center of this DP point. DP point, it is 750 plus 200 outside projection of this face of flange. Okay, this is as per your requirement you have placed, but if you observe, it is not, it is coming in air, it's not penetrating to this equipment. That is because the length of the nozzle is smaller. So how we will input the length of nozzle? The N1 nozzle is already selected. If it is not selected, you select it and go to its properties either from here, or you can right click and go to properties. Once you go to properties, under occurrence tab, you can see there is a cursor over here. You click here, come down. There is something called as nozzle length. You know that this is 200 outside the cylinder face. If I put exactly 200, maybe due to curvature of the cylinder, it will not penetrate within the equipment. So what I will do, so I will put it as nozzle length as 250 The nozzle length will be taken from face of flange to this side. I will apply this. Now can you observe? The nozzle is penetrating through the equipment. I can show you in this ISO view. Okay. If I come out of the selection, you can see here the nozzle is penetrating through the equipment now. In the top view also you can see this is your cylinder and the nozzle is up to here penetrating inside the cylinder. If I put exactly 200 maybe due to this curvature it will not penetrate through the equipment. This is how you will set your nozzle. Okay. Any doubt about the nozzle placement we have seen now? No doubts? All are able to follow properly? Okay, then if there are no doubts, okay, let us continue. So by selecting DP1, datum point is very important for placement of any nozzle. Okay, do not place a nozzle without a DP added in your equipment. There should be at least one datum point available in any designed equipment. Whenever you go on building your equipment, make sure you add a datum point like this using this shape. After adding, you will select that particular datum point and then you will build your nozzle. You can add the nozzle using this command, place nozzle. Okay. And when you go on placing nozzle, after selecting a particular DP, sorry, I'll select this nozzle and show its properties once again. When you select your nozzle and go to its properties, you just observe there is a DP point highlighted in yellow color here. Whether all of you can observe, DP point is highlighted in yellow color. That means this nozzle is having the relation with this DP point. Okay. This nozzle is having relation. It is started from this datum point. Okay. And the location values you have given, this N1 5 meter. or this N2 950 mm. All these are based on this DP point highlighted. Okay. So in the top view also, you can see DP point is highlighted. The 950 mm you are giving is from this point. And in the front view, you can see from the DP point, the N1 value, which is the length of, okay, which is the distance of this nozzle from the DP point you have selected. This is my DP point. If it is convenient for you to place the nozzle from a DP point over here, you can place one more DP point and then place it. Okay.
Sir,
Right
one
now,
small doubt in that, sir.
yes, please.
Sir, after creating that nozzles, I'm going to change the datum point. What is the impact on the nozzle location and all?
If you change the nozzle
Suppose
can
someone
be
create,
moved. If you move this nozzle, maybe if you change its, say, position and orientation, instead of it 0, if you change to 1 meter, sorry, you just observe here. If you apply this, nozzle also moved along with it. Can you
okay,
observe?
okay, sir, yes, sir,
So
yes,
it will directly impact the nozzle, which is having
sir.
relation with the datum point.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So whenever you place datum point, you make sure you are placing at correct location, because if you place multiple nozzles, after that if you try to move the datum point, it will definitely affect the
All the
nozzles which are having relation with the datum point, because you started a placement of the nozzle using the datum point. You have to fix the datum point properly as per your requirement. After that only you go on placing the nozzles. Okay. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other doubts? For the placement of nozzle, we have followed using this datum point. You can see whenever I select nozzle, it will show the datum point also, and all the location under location, whatever values you have given are based on the datum point you have selected during placement of nozzle. Any doubts till now?
One more doubt, sir, in that nozzle. Nozzle length we are providing in previous projects, we are providing from the center to face of the flange, we are providing as a nozzle length. But you are mentioning nozzle length as a 250 mm only. Is it correct, or we need to follow the center to face of flange length as
I
a
have
nozzle
seen
length?
in PDS or Sp3d, I have seen normally if they project inside the equipment shape, that is enough.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
You
In
can
PDMs
check with
only we are
your
using that
you can check
CL.
with senior designers if you have to give total length.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for me, as per me, it's enough. You need not to have nozzle still here. In PDMS, you are giving up to this center.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that required?
Yes, sir. That the program as well written like that only, sir.
Okay, program for to give the nozzle length,
Nozzle,
nozzle
yes, nozzle
dimension.
length, yes, sir. We are importing that nozzle length and all in Excel sheet. That Excel sheet given to that admin, they are importing to that model, sir.
Okay. Maybe because of that program, they are giving from center to face of flange. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Maybe to help using that program, you are giving total length from center. But
Okay,
here you don't need that. As
okay,
per
sir.
me, you don't need that. If your nozzle is normally nozzles are welded on the equipment, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, giving the extra length is not at all required. If it for visualization purpose, you can give little extra length to show.
Okay,
As outside it is 200 mm, but still I have taken 250 only to penetrate through this cylinder. Okay, you don't
okay,
need
sir.
to give up to center.
Okay, sir.
Maybe because of that PDMS program, they requested you to give from total length from the center.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
In this Sp3d, for us, it's if it penetrates in the cylinder, that's enough.
Okay.
So you
Okay,
have
thank
to
you,
you make sure that it's penetrating in the cylinder.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions till now?